Howdy guys, it's Matt here with MC Weld's Official. It is Sunday and we're going to go do a little bit of aluminum repair for a landscaping customer. They got a ramp on an application truck, chemical application truck, that's cracked and it is aluminum. We're going to go repair it, and then when we're done with that, we're going to go back to the laydown yard. The engine drive that's in this truck, it sounds ridiculous, but I think the muffler fell off again. What I mean by that is it came off of the studs. It either rattled loose, which I hope, because we can fix that with some new nuts. If it broke the studs, well, it's going to be a long night. That job is done. Here's some pictures. Just an aluminum ramp on a fertilizer applicator unit truck. And I've actually done some work for these guys before. And I actually, funny story, used to work for them, like W-2. So that's a story for another day, but yeah, pretty cool shit. Now we get the opportunity. Let's see what time it is. It is 14:30 right now. We're gonna go to the laydown yard. I gotta get this muffler fixed on this engine drive. It's driving me nuts. See what I did there? Anyway, we gotta get this muffler fixed. This truck needs reorganized because right now this is my main truck, and when it's in secondary mode, it kind of gets, shit just gets thrown around. I need to get better at that. So, oh yeah. Let's rock and roll. Alrighty guys, we are back at the laydown yard. I've got a lot of stuff to do today. One of them is get this situation under control. This is crazy. This is unacceptable. But first, I've got to see if this engine drive is still hot. See, look at all this bullshit. It's just so much bullshit. Which it probably is. No, muffler's not 2-1. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. See this? That's the muffler down there. Watch this. It's not supposed to move like that.
Till I see.
Okay, stop back by. Now, I've got to see if there's so much shit in the way. Why it's doing that. It's not the muffler assembly. It's closer to where the studs are. It's where it's hinging. So, I've got to pull this drive out to be able to get to it and work on that, which means all this shit has to come out. So this truck, this bed is getting organized today. I also noticed some of my boxes are leaking. That needs to be addressed because it's been raining a lot lately. So I'm just tired of wet tools. It drives me nuts. So we got to get that figured out. We got to clean up the inside of the cab, and then got other truck and trailers to take care of today too. But let's get this shit out of the way. So I got the whole liner on it too. Oh, there we go. Oh, sweet. This diaphragm. Okay. Now this little cup guy, that's the liner. I should probably not pull that out. I didn't think that this thing had a liner. That's nice, actually. So I could probably just replace that liner when she finally does go out. That's kind of cool that this thing even has a liner. It's actually kind of cool. Okay. This looks like an important part that I probably don't want to be screwing up. Like I said, I think that's a diaphragm. Yeah, she's gonna come apart. Ah, there we go. Hopefully don't screw anything up. The gasket. Okay. Nice. That's air out. This is air in. Perfect. We can now take this wherever we want, and we're not going to screw anything up. This is going to get wrapped up. Yeah, that's definitely what that is. That's a diaphragm. Get this guy wrapped up here. Nice and carefully. And we'll stuff it in here. There we go. Yeah. And then I'll grab this guy. Boom. Like that. And then we'll go to the hydro trailer and we'll grab one of these. Just to make sure that we have everything that we need. This guy is gonna sit right up there. That way when it spills, you guys can see Matt loses shit. Okay. Let's go to the hydro trailer and this awesome fucking door. This is what we need. Alright, first stop. We're gonna try these guys and see if they're any help today. Alrighty, we're at Menards here. So I've got that crimp with me. This is a 4x4 Couple-O-Matic 0310, and that's going to take it from 3/8 national pipe thread down to, this adapter's up to 3/8 national pipe thread. So AutoZone said that they did not have the flare for that. You can see in the bottom it's flared. The fitting that we need to find needs to be flared. So pretty sure it's right hand, but we're getting ready to go find out. So on today's episode of How Complicated Can Matt Possibly Make Things, this is what I have cobbled together to make this work with our existing fittings that are currently on the hose coming straight off to the compressed air to tank side. So I did put this that's a flare, by the way. It does bottom out. There's not many threads in there anyway, and it bites the threads pretty good. I checked it, everything looks good. Had to reduce it down to quarter, from 3/8 pipe thread to quarter, and then from quarter we're going from here out is all stainless. I put a union right there because when I'm threading this hose on, it twists the whole hose because it's just a crimped on connector, and that is not a female swivel national pipe thread coming off of my crimped hose that I crimped for the tank pressure, or air to tank. It's not a swivel. It looks like it is, but it's not. So that means I've got to put a union in there so that way I don't twist that hose and possibly break it or abrade it prematurely, causing a burst. And this compressor head will go up to about, I think, close to 300 psi. So we'll see what all this is rated for, and we will make sure that everything is in good working order before we go firing it up for the first time, because the last thing I need is these fittings going, you know, to the moon. But that's what we got. That's gonna come off the compressor head, and it's gonna make it a little bit more serviceable too, but it took every bit of this to make that happen. So let's go ahead and grab some other stuff that we need now that the hard project is done. Alrighty, so for everything at Menards, we are looking at $44.31. That's to make everything work on a compressor head, and some high temp gasket maker, and clear Flux Seal tape for my tops of my cabinets. So ready to rock and roll. All in all, under $100 today. Hopefully this fixes everything on that truck that we're looking to get fixed today. So that's how that's gonna work, about like that. looks like we clear everything. So that's good. Sweet. I'll go ahead and tape all these up, get them all tightened and orientated, and then we'll take this union apart and go ahead and thread it into the end that's crimped up in the compressor cabinet. We're gonna need this. I would probably prefer to run solid wire instead of flux cord, but I've done a lot of this exhaust stuff with flux cord. I'll probably use flux cord just for ease of setting it up. There's our gasket maker. There's our clamp. This stuff needs that goes in there. Okay. Turns out I don't think I needed like half of these. Really just needed like this one and this one. Cut that short, cut this short, and then we can make it come out to here with this size, which is the size we need. Speaking of which, I need to get my flex pipe. Alrighty, I used Permatex 81630 high temp gasket maker. I'm letting it sit up right now on that guy. You can see that's what happened. It pretty much just came loose. So I'm making a new gasket right now, letting that get tacky before I put it on. As for this guy, I did the inside of the threads of this coupler and the outside of the threads of the pipe, and then threaded it on. Went ahead and did that. And then once we get this one all hooked up here, then we'll thread this, or slip that over there and use a U-bolt. And it actually goes up to the top where there is a rain cap up there. And it gets all the exhaust heat out. So that's kind of nice in the back. I am currently under the air tank and in between the engine drive right now. So it's a little cramped in here, but we're doing it. Got to get this thing working for tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and hook up this compressor. This is our compressed air 2 tank. This is our adapter contraption that we configured. And as you see, this isn't a swivel like I was talking earlier. So when you're twisting this on, you're really just twisting the hose. And that's not good for it. So, let's set this down for a minute. Let's get this guy out of here. There's a gasket. And there's that guy. How does this go? Oh, this guy. Gasket. And then like that. Well, the air compressor was kind of a failure. For today at least. This is tacky enough. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on. There we go. Another thing I should probably do is support this muffler. What's going to help support it is this being connected. So hopefully that helps. My worry is that it rattling around damaged one of the studs. That's my worry. And I'm just going completely by feel right now. I don't have any idea. Well, I do have an idea of what I'm doing, but just can't see it. Click. Okay. That's mounted. The tricky part is with this compressor tank above me, the tricky part is going to be connecting this. It's not going to be easy. That's for sure. But I guess this is our testing, so we can make sure that this compressor works. We'll test. Whoa! See, that's why we test shit. It doesn't like that. So something's not wired right. Didn't even. Okay, well, in conclusion, we got the engine drive muffler fixed. That was kind of the main issue for today, at least, was getting that quiet and running smoothly, which it is now. It should run a little bit more efficiently too, but it's not going to be, you know, a lawnmower without a muffler in the back of my truck every time I pull up on a job site, which is kind of important. I value that. So, as for the air compressor, what I look at possibly doing, and this is kind of where I'm to the point at with this compressor head, it has several hundred hours on it. This compressor head has, if I had to guess, at least 1,000 hours on it. It used to be the compressor that was in Berta for the longest time. From the get-go, it was on Berta, and I bought it brand new when I bought Berta to install on that truck. And it's been through several heat cycles. It's been through a lot. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new compressor head, or buy a new compressor, and take the head off and mount that in that cabinet. That way I'm working with a 0 hour compressor, 0 hours on the seals, 0 hours on the compressor head, the plug, the electricals, the orifices, the check valve, 0 hours on everything. And for this truck, you know, it's fine being, you know, you gotta fuck with it to get it to work. You know, stuff system-wise on the truck, that's okay to a point until, you know, your main truck is down, which boat it is right now. So it makes sense to kind of look at this more of a, let's get it done the right way, the post-time way, which is what I've been trying to beat around the bush to say. That's the direction I think I'm going to go with this. I think we are going to go ahead and get a new compressor for it. The tank is fine. I just painted it. Maybe we'll paint the new tank. I don't know. There's not really much room for a bigger tank on it, as is right now. Would it be nice? Yeah, but it's just not, that's just not kind of the room that I have available at this point on that smaller truck. So, moving forward, I think we're going to get a new compressor for it. We're going to rip the head off the new one, put it in that cabinet. We have done the hard part. The hard part is done. We have got the fittings. We've found out how we're going to secure everything. We've made it to where the plug is in the box, so you can plug in the air compressor to power, 120 volt power right in the box. We've got a union coming off of the compressor outlet side already. So that's going to make swapping out that compressor head so much easier. What I'm dealing with now is mainly the ability to shut off the compressor head when it gets that pressure. So kind of going to be doing some engineering and some research on whether or not I can put that transducer in the airline that gets sent out to the tank. I'm assuming with back pressure coming back onto the line, that's possible, but mathematically and physically, can it happen? That's what I got to do some research on. That would make it a lot easier to just swap heads, like just buy an air compressor, chop the head off, throw it in the cabinet. That would make it really easy. So, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at today. That's today's video. Once again, appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.